Men of Reddit, what's the creepiest thing a girl has ever said or done to you? Story 1. I was dating and asked if I had changed the locks since breaking up with my ex months prior. I'm like, no, but she wasn't a crazy person, so I never worried about it. She says, if I don't change the locks, she isn't comfortable sleeping over. So I changed the locks. This ex sends me an angry text the next day. So you changed your locks, huh? Real nice, asshole. So she had been coming over this time and doing who knows what. Story 2. I started a new job and shared a small office with a woman my age and a couple of other people. She was cute but also weird and super naive. She grew up in a rural area. She'd flirt with me a lot, but I wasn't interested. So she started sending me emails. They were super long, detailing her whole day, and she sent them to me every day. I never responded. Then one day, she sent me this long email confessing her love. I replied with the self-evident reasons why it wouldn't work and asked her to stop sending me emails daily. She didn't. They kept coming. This went on for months. I asked her in person and online to stop, but I still got these email memoirs every day. Eventually, I had another female office mate who was her friend talk with her. Finally, the email stopped. Story 3. I considered a friend who started to grow feelings for me. When she found out I had a girlfriend and I didn't feel the same for her, she somehow found out who my girlfriend was. She then DM'd her and tried to tell her that I was cheating on her with her and that I'm a pedo. The friend was a couple years younger than us. Luckily, I was with her when she got that DM, so I could explain the situation, and then we blocked her. However, she DM'd her again the next day from an out account. Story 4. In my early 20s, I was at a party, and the hosting woman tried to reach down my pants to grab my dick. Strange, yes. What made it creepy was that we were right in front of her mother, who was cheering her on. Story 5. After 6 months after our breakup, my ex called me because she wanted to see me. It seemed strange to me, but I accepted. When we met, she was friendly and all. Then at a certain point, she pulled a sheet in which there was written a list of all men she fucked after our relationship. And she read it all to me, with an accurate description of very sexual intercourse. Well, it was an awkward moment. Story 6. My friend woke up with his pants off to a girl he had repeatedly rejected trying to get him hard. This was pretty creepy. Also, one of my old professors was stalked and harassed by his ex-girlfriend to the point where she was on a restraining order, and the last straw was when he got a new girlfriend. She straight up shot him in the chest, and he barely survived by luck. Story 7. A girl I worked with at a skating rink in high school pretended to call the wrong number and left me a voicemail about how scared she was and that she thought he would rape her again. The next day, when I listened to it, I called her and explained that I figured it was the wrong number but wanted to check up on her and asked what I could do. She goes on to apologize, but goes into graphic detail about how she has bruises on the inside of her thighs from trying to keep them shut. Fast forward to me bringing her ice cream. Then she wants to watch a movie. Then she tries to hold my hand. I leave. Come to find out, she's a compulsive liar and has lived 40 parallel lives, depending on whom you talk to. She seemed like an ordinary friendly girl, but some elaborate story quickly manipulated or tricked everyone who befriended her. Story 8. We were at a restaurant with her family once, and I got this spidey feeling when a woman is pissed off and not saying why. It eventually came out that she saw me holding hands with the waitress and planning for some quick sex in the back room. Edit. By popular demand. I want to clarify that she was hallucinating, and I never interacted with the waitress beyond ordering food from her. Another time, she confessed that she had caused a rollover accident before we met in an attempt to kill her family. Another time, I was taking a shower and she smelled smoke. It was coming from the plastic handle of the butcher knife she had hidden in the bathroom light. I don't know how you convert that to a number. Story 9. This one girl liked me in high school. I had one class with her and talked with her about 5 minutes once. She called my parents' landline and told me over the phone that she would let me titty fuck her. My answer verbatim was, "No, thank you. That was very nice of you, though." When I went downstairs to hang the phone up, my mom said, "Oh, how sweet. You have a little girlfriend." And I was sitting there with this pit in my stomach, wondering if this was what dating would be for the rest of my life. Story 10. I've had a girl create about 50 different Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram accounts, all to try to get me to friend her. I've never met this woman in person, and yet every few weeks, I'll get a handful of friend requests from her. Story 11. I was going to head home after a night out, and a girl jumped in after me when I got into my taxi. I asked what they were doing, and she said, "I'm coming home with you." So the taxi driver helped me, and she eventually got out of the car when I shot down her advances. Story 12. In primary school, West African country, there was this big girl everyone in the class feared. So one day, we submitted our assignments at the teacher's table, which got a little crowded. She grabbed my man parts, looked at me, and winked. I was super shocked, but innocent. I didn't know what it meant or why she was blinking after grabbing me. I didn't take it as a big deal, but it took me a while to realize that she had violated me. Story 13. My dentist told me this story once. He was still studying to be a dentist, and they often worked free clinics in the poor areas around the campus for prac requirements. A girl came in a few times to have some cavities filled, and by the last session, he said, "Great, we're done. All your holes are filled." To which she replied in the chair, giving him evil, sexy eyes. Not all of them. Not so bad, but his wife, then serious girlfriend, was the dental assistant, and he says that combination of location, situation, and circumstances creeped him out so much that he nearly ran out of the office. Story 14. One of my exes called me crying once and told me 3 dudes raped her on a school bus. One of my friends rode that same bus and confirmed that she did not get raped by 3 dudes on that bus that day. The same girl also tried to ruin my following 2 relationships. She was crazy. Story 15. My ex girlfriend texted me a year or so after we broke up. She told me how the guy she had been dating for a while would slap her and mistreat her if she didn't have sex with him. She cheated on me and left me because I didn't make enough money. I was in college and barely had any extra money. I told her to tell the police that this wasn't my issue or my fight. Instead, she texted me for a week straight, asking if we could see each other. Luckily, I had some proper guidance from friends and stayed away until she finally left me alone. Story 16. In high school, this girl was friends with my longtime girlfriend, and everyone knew about our relationship. It was closed, monogamous, unexciting, and sweet. And this fake friend pulled this shit. I was pissed. I didn't turn her in because who knows what she'd say I did to school admins. But I told my then girlfriend, who cut her off forever. The bitch was expelled for bringing alcohol and cocaine on a school trip. Story 17. I was seeing this girl, went out 3 or 4 times, eventually got to sexy times, and I brought a condom, but she asked me not to use it as she was on birth control. A few days later, she called me crying, looking for me to console her. She was crying because she thought she couldn't get pregnant because she was not on birth control and tried to time it right for her. Young me learned an essential lesson about condoms that day, and I didn't speak to her again. Story 18. I passed out on a beach at night in Florida, drunk during spring break. My friends thought it was funny to tell this girl we met that I wasn't talking to her that day and that I was shy. Skip to a few hours of drinking hard liquor, and I was toast. I passed out on top of a beach chair, umbrella box on the beach. I woke up to the chick with her hands in my pants, and all her friends laughing when I woke up. Scared the shit out of me. People would hear the story and laugh. Story 19. I met a girl a while back when online chat rooms were popular who had just got out of a bad relationship. We started chatting and I told her I only wanted to be friends from the get-go. We shared similar interests, enjoyed each other's company, and through talking, found out we didn't live too far from each other. We'd meet up from time to time to play video games and hang out. After about 2 weeks of being friends, she admitted that she had feelings for me. I said, "That's sweet, but I only see you as a friend, and I'd like to keep it that way." From then on, she would make sexual advances, which I kept refusing. She'd progressively kept going into more detail about all the nasty things she'd do to me, most of which she made me feel super uncomfortable. After a month, I couldn't handle all the sexual behavior and decided we couldn't be friends. When I told her our friendship was over, she threatened me. She claims that the police would believe anything she says, especially over ends word. It's hard to describe what I felt that day, but I had to say it was mostly fear. I blocked her from everything and blocked her phone number. Luckily, that was the last I heard of her.